This is the plaintiff, Melinda Whitaker. She says she bought a car from the defendant, and from the very first day, she had major problems driving it. When she brought it to a mechanic, he told her the entire thing was rusted out. She was duped by the flim-flam car man and is suing for the return of her hard-earned $2,000. This is the defendant, Freddie Gaines. He says the plaintiff came to him in dire need of a car, so he sold her a 1996 Nissan Maxima, which he told her needed work. That's right, she knew full well what she was buying. He's done everything under the sun to make this woman happy, but the buck has to stop somewhere. He's accused of selling a dud spud.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff says she bought a lemon from the defendant, a rusted out lemon, but the defendant says she bought a 96 Maxima, so what did she expect? It's the case of Grody to the Maxima.
Thank you, Douglas. Melinda Whitaker.
Yes, ma'am.
You are suing Freddie Gaines for $2,000 that you paid for a car.
Yes, ma'am.
That, according to you, is a complete and total lemon. Tell me what happened.
Freddie's basically sold me the car.
Did you know him before this?
Yes, his sister did my hair last year, and she basically told me that he sold cars and that they were good cars, and she recommended me to him.
Okay.
And I went to him back then, tried to get a car for him, but it didn't work out. So this year I was in dire need of a car because I had school, my kids had school, so, you know, I had to have transportation. I went to Freddie. Freddie said he had a car for me. He sent me a picture of the car. I told him, you know, I liked it. And then I finally met him to pay for the car.
Wait, weren't you going to drive the car? And see
that's what I mean. I went to meet him at the auction. When I went to go see the car was basically on like a battery charger thing. So I wasn't able to drive it that day because he said he had to fix the alternator or put a new battery inside the car before I was able to drive it. But as far as everything else with the car, I looked.
What's everything else?
As far as
other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how did you like the play?
I mean, as far as like the way the car looked and that he told me.
Pretty.
Yeah, not pretty,
it's pretty.
Not
yes,
that it was pretty. It was just, you know, something that I needed. So when I went to see the car, I looked at the car.
What you need are reliable wheels for you and your kids.
Exactly.
Right. So that's why you have to test drive a 17-year-old car.
Exactly.
How old is this car? 17, right?
About that.
It's older than my kids. What?
Yeah.
How old is the car? What year?
96.
96 what?
Nissan Maxima.
Go ahead.
So I went, I looked at the car. He said to give him a couple of days to get, so he can fix the car. And
what's the blue book value on this thing?
I'm not even sure.
Can we get the blue book value on this thing?
A 96 Nissan Maxima.
1996. What?
Nissan Maxima.
Nissan Maxima.
Okay.
So go on.
I brought him to the bank with me, gave him the $2,000. I went to drive the car to Walgreens. Went to get out the car, couldn't get back in the car because the keys didn't work for the car. So I called Freddie. I'm like, Freddie, the keys don't work for the car. Oh, I didn't know. What you mean you didn't know? So ended up getting the key made. The same day I got the key made, I went because I was driving the car and it sounded like the muffler may have had a hole in it. So I took it to one of my muffler guys and he put it up on his lift and he's like, okay, I can't do anything about this car because underneath this car is rotten. He's like, basically whoever sold you this car didn't look underneath the car because this car can basically, it's a safety hazard to the road. So I have pictures of when I first took it to the mechanic. I had the pictures. There's one picture in there where his hand is in a hole underneath the car and it's just rusted.
Did he take pictures of the bottom?
Yes.
Did he put it up and take pictures?
Yes, ma'am.
So what do you do when you discover this?
I call Freddie. I'm like, Freddie, I'm like, underneath the car is so rotten. I had my muffler guy, mechanic guy, look underneath it for me. He's telling me that it's a hazard onto the road. You know, what can you do for me? Like, I'm willing to have a trade-off with a different car if you have it. Or if you can't give me that, I feel like you should give me my money back because I haven't even had this car, haven't even sat at my house, not even for a day yet, before I even, you know, find out all these problems that's going on with the car. So he's like, okay, bring it to one of my mechanics. I brought it to his mechanic. There was a mechanic named Joe. He said, he called Freddie on the phone and said, Freddie, you really actually gave this lady the car looking like this? And he looked underneath the car with a jack now and said that he's seen the rust and everything underneath the car and that the rust is under the radiator. And he was like, did you also know that the radiator is tied up? And I'm like, tied up? So he's like, he said, basically Freddie told him, let me know what you can do about the car and give me a call back. So after that, still no phone call.
Do you know what the
no
Blue
one
Book
called.
value of the car is?
No, ma'am. I really
Do you know what I mean when I say that?
Yes, I do.
How do you know you got a good deal from Freddie? How do you know he didn't completely rob you? The Blue Book value in fair condition, which is what I would call this based on the pictures I'm seeing, is $1,311. And he charged you $2,000.
$2,000.
Right. What's going on?
All right, basically here, Melinda called me saying, hey, Freddie, I need a vehicle. So I said, okay, I'll work it out for you, Melinda. Meet me at the auction, and we'll go ahead. I'm going to show you this
What's
vehicle.
the auction?
The Orlando Auto Auction.
Do you have to have a license to do that?
The license, yes, you have to have the auto.
Do you have a license to do that?
I have the card that allows me auction access.
The card that allows you auction access.
And,
is that-
I'm also affiliated with other dealers as well.
What does that mean? You're affiliated
Meaning
with
that
other
when
dealers?
this car was bought, it was from one of my buddies, one of my other dealer buddies. So I said, okay.
What do you mean it was bought from a dealer buddy?
Meaning that the car was purchased by her. But since I
Where's
know
the
her.
paperwork for the transaction, the bill of sale for this car to Melinda? Let
Right
me
here.
see what you've got.
This is what he gave me without any signatures on it.
Let me see everything.
Like, this is what I got with the signatures on it.
Defendants.
We sell this, the thing that you signed says the following: we sell this vehicle as is, not expressly warranted or guaranteed with all faults. What do you think that means?
That I basically bought it as is, but I have a text message from Freddie telling me that he will go half with me to fix the car, depending on the amount of the price of how much it is to fix it. I don't have my car. Freddie has my car. It's been a whole month. No one's called me. No one's told
What's
me anything.
going on? She sued because nobody communicated with her. What
At
ended
all.
up happening?
How stupid is this woman? 96 Maxima did not test drive.
Oh, you have to have a test drive or have a mechanic look at it.
Would you do both, a mechanic and?
I would have started by buying a Honda, but other than that, yeah, I would have test drove it.
You're our friendly Honda man. Hey, going inside the courtroom.
When I told Melinda to bring the car, after her mechanic told her that the frame of the car was wrong or bad, I said, bring the car over here. My mechanic
Where's here?
My mechanic, Wayne. I got a statement from Wayne saying that the radiator core support did have rust on it, and which he said he'll do the entire job for $150. Her mother had called me specifically, and I said, I'll go half on it with you, $75, if she agrees to pay the other half.
Okay.
I did.
Well, then what happened?
She never came up with the $75. She never called him.
Ma'am, let me tell
Hold on,
you.
ma'am.
Wait a minute.
One
Okay.
second.
It is not my responsibility because I told her to bring the car over there. So she brought
Well, who has the car?
the car's at Wayne's house still. Melinda has not came and got that car, nor has she tried to call me.
I have text messages that the last text message I sent him, I told him, Freddie, I said, I do not trust this car. I have kids. I can't drive this car.
Okay.
I said, you can either trade me out a different car or give me my money back. There's nothing else. I have a letter right here from the muffler.
Well, there is something else. And the something else is that you need to understand that when you buy a 17-year-old car, there are dangers involved in that. This is an as-is sale. Your contract that you signed says it's as-is. So you have issues. So when someone tells you, you know, I'll go 75, you go 75, maybe you should get it fixed. And if you don't feel comfortable with the car, you sell the car.
never received-
But you got to do something. You can't just say, give me back my money, that's all I'll take.
But
Because
no,
that
that's
may not be one of your options.
He never called me and told me about any. I don't know anything about
Show
any
me the text you
75
talked about.
Right here. I said, I don't trust that car. My mechanic says the car is
That's
not.
fine, but you keep saying, I don't trust that car either. The difference between you and I is that you think he's got to eat your contract. I think this
There's more.
stinks. I think that your former hairdresser's brother was completely taking you for a ride. I think it's awful that he would charge you $2,000 for a car he was paying $850 for, plus, of course, a tax and title and all that other stuff. I think it's awful. But you know what? This is America, baby. Okay? You had $2,000 in your pocket to buy a car. Maybe you needed to exercise your judgment a little more judiciously. You need one thing where, I don't know why you're nodding. You look like garbage here right now. You know, what do you mean no? Are you kidding me? You bought an $850. This is your sister's friend. You couldn't treat her a little better than this? But at the end of the day, you signed a contract that said as is. It's crazy. Crazy. Verdict for the defendant.
Well, it's too bad the plaintiff comes out with nothing here, but maybe a lesson learned. Well, first of all, what's your reaction to what just went down?
I mean, I'm very upset. I mean, I put my trust in him, and he basically just threw me under the bus. So once a crook, always a crook. What can I say?
So where does that leave you now?
Hey, move on to the next.
All right, right around the corner there. Better luck with your next car. So here's Freddie Gaines, ladies and gentlemen. Step on in here.
How you doing?
Good. How do you sleep at night?
Oh, I sleep pretty good because I know what the contract says. Sold as is. She came and evaluated the car, and if she didn't like it, she didn't have to agree to it. She could have said no. On to the next car.
Mm-hmm.
So,
meantime, you knew you were selling her a car that was worth $1,300 in the blue book for $2,000. I guess that's how you make your living, right?
That's how I make my living. That's how I keep my lights on. So,
you got to eat, right?
I got to eat.
Harvey? The only way to undo a sale like this is proving fraud and material misrepresentation, and that wasn't the case here.